Don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe for more tokusatsu content, and I thank you for your continued support. Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Spike 2.0 back again once again. Today, people, today I want to talk about Super Space Sheriff Gavan, and I also want to talk about how this series is like my first tokusatsu series that isn't Kamen Rider or Sentai. Like it is, like it's like my first series that like my first toku series that isn't in it, that isn't the other two. And I'm glad that I actually was like gave it a chance. Be like the suits is the first thing that really brought me in the first place. But at the same time, like Gavan has really like shown me like other I don't want to sound weird, but it's like shown me that there's that I can like branch out into other toku. Now that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm just gonna watch everything, but at the same time it helped me. This show has like shown me that like if I branch out with some other toku stuff, then I could most definitely have a good freaking time. It's just that so many other shows and so many other like toku are so far along and stuff like that would take me like forever to catch up, right? And I really and to a degree that kind of does not matter, because I started with Kamen Rider relatively kind of late, because I started with O's. I started with O's and I just went down from there. Like I started with O's and I just went, and basically almost everybody after O's I really like. I messed with a lot, because I started off, when it came out of Toku, I started off with just watching the movies and not having like any idea like who these other characters and these other characters and stuff were, like the movies and the crossover movies and stuff like that, like the Rider and Sentai, crossover movies. My favorite, I think my number one favorite like toku, well, Rider Sentai, my number one favorite one was the Riders versus Showa. Well, like not right. I mean, well, Heisei versus Showa was dope, but I think that's my second favorite. But my number one favorite was what was it, when Decade was fighting Marvelous? That movie, we had all the Riders versus all the Sentai. Yeah, that movie. I would rewatch it and watch that movie so much. Like that movie was awesome. And then, but when I got more and more acquainted with Sentai and Kamen Rider, that movie hit differently for me, because I actually knew like who these characters and stuff like that were. I knew who, like I had a deeper connection with these characters. Like after, like I didn't know much about Decade, and I didn't know much about Marvelous, but at the same time, because I would see like them appear in like other stuff, but then I actually watched them. And when I actually watched them, then I rewatched that movie, it hit differently because I know these characters better. Does that make sense? But yeah, my first introduction like to Toku was basically, well, like Toku, like Rider and stuff like that, all the Japanese stuff, like was originally it was Ryuki, because I did watch Ryuki, and yeah, my first Rider was Ryuki, and then. But he wasn't like my favorite. He's up there, but then O's kind of came and I fell in love. but yeah, like it's even with Sentai, I think the Sentai I started with, my first Sentai was I actually sat down and I watched all the way through was King-Ohger. That team was huge. Like you got a 12-man team, a 12-person team. Like yeah, that was I think it was my first Sentai. I don't know what was my first Sentai. Like a Sentai I actually watched all the way through. I think it was King-Ohger, and then I went all the way down. Like I just kept going all the way up until now, because I think it was King-Ohger. I'm just gonna say that it was. But yeah, man, like because at first, when I first started this whole YouTube thing, I was just Rider. it was just writer stuff. It wasn't Sentai stuff. It was just I think I think it was Q-Ranger because I started doing like Q-Ranger reviews. If I had, this isn't, because this channel right here that I'm on right now is not my original channel. My original channel was taken down. I had 6,000 subscribers on that channel and everything, and that channel took like 5 years to get really going like that. But yeah, so hey, if you're new and you're watching this video, hey, I'm glad you made it to this part, because right now I'm just yapping. I haven't talked about Gavan at all. But hey, if you made it this far, I thoroughly do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that good jazz, man. I'm trying to get back to what I was before. I'm really trying to get back, man. I'm trying to get back. That's why I'm doing all this stuff. But hey, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Check my channel out, check this channel out, stuff like that. See if you want to stay or not. And I'm glad you're here. Happy you're, hey, how you doing? But yeah, Gavan. Especially my first introduction to Gavan was in a Gokaiger movie. If you see that, it was one of the Gokaiger movies where Gavan had came, the original Gavan had came to the Gokaiger. It basically was about to arrest them. Essentially, they had got framed for something, and they got framed by these other like evil kind of pirate characters. And yeah, that was my first introduction to him. But man, it made me want to watch Gavan, because it was like, and then I found out there's like 2 other Gavans with him too. There was a blue Gavan and a red Gavan, and which was also dope. So it was like, man, that's like teaming up with something other than Rider. I had never seen that before when it came down to Sentai. But yeah, one thing I've really wanted to sort of get into was like Ultraman, because I've only ever seen one Ultraman series, and it was way back in the day when I was a kid, and that's when like one Ultraman series was here. It was airing at the same time as Power Rangers and stuff like that, right? And it was the only Ultraman like show I ever seen. But then I see Ultraman like now and stuff like that. And Ultraman right now is actually pretty freaking cool. Like y'all, the Ultraman fans, y'all cooking. Y'all got some really dope design like suits and stuff. Y'all got some really cool monster designs. Like the henshin devices and stuff like that look really cool. Like I have seen some really cool like Ultraman stuff going on. But yeah, Gavan, Super Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity. I really am enjoying this show. We're 9 episodes in on this show, and I'm actually thoroughly very much enjoying it. I really wish, I haven't seen much of it, but I hear a lot of people like didn't want to give this show a chance at first, and we're just sitting here comparing it to Sentai, like saying like this is supposed to be like the placeholder for Sentai right now and stuff like that. And it definitely has some it definitely has some Sentai-esque kind of stuff going on with it, like the multicolored heroes and using something to transform into a suit. But it's like that's basic, but that's just what a henshin hero like is, especially when you have more than one of them in like a series. It's just like Sentai wasn't, I mean, like Sentai technically wasn't the first to do the whole like team henshin, like team characters coming in, they all transform with something, they're a team and they're all multicolored. I don't think Sentai is like the first to do that, but I feel like they're the first to put it on the map. But at the same time, you can't say like everything's not Sentai-esque just because you have like characters who transform into something and they're all different multicolored suits, right? Like it's like we're not calling certain writer series Sentai-esque, because look at I mean, come on, look at Ryuki. That has like that show has like 13 writers in it, right? And all the writers like have the same type of device to transform, and they're all different. They're all like multicolored with a different animal and a different advent beast and all that stuff. But we're not saying like, oh, that's nothing, but they're just like, it's Sentai-esque. So it's just like, Sentai just means team, you know? Like, that's all it is. And but when it came down to Gavan, it really does feel like a different show. In my opinion, it still feels like a different sort of show. It still feels, it does feel like different, and like, at least for me, it feels really different because, like I said before, this is my first Toku series that's not a Sentai or a Kamen Rider, and from the outside looking in, from like a fan from like a person who doesn't know, who wouldn't know what it is, they would be like, oh, this is just a Sentai. He said, nah, it's not Sentai, because you oh, excuse me, especially since these three characters, hello phone, especially since these three characters are not like, they're not a team yet. Like, they haven't really met each other, and the only way they can like really meet each other is like if they go to each other's universes. But at the same time, they would have to gain that ability that Reiji has, you know, to be able to breathe on somebody else's earth, you know. Like, that'd be like the only way they really would really be able to team up, which we know is going to happen eventually. Like, we know that's going to happen, but at the same time, like, you can't really say this is Sentai. I mean, even if you could say it's Sentai to a degree. It may have some Sentai-isms, like especially with the mech stuff and the auxiliary stuff, you know. You can definitely say it's Sentai-esque, but at the same time, I wouldn't just say, oh, this is just straight up a Sentai. I mean, yeah, we're getting different Gavans, we're getting different characters and suits and stuff like that, but at the same time, they're not necessarily just this big gigantic like team or whatever, right? They're just a Gavan in a different universe. They're not really like, they're not that. So I just feel like people saying that, oh, this is just Sentai, aren't really looking at it in a more broader way. I mean, yeah, I know like Gavan Infinity, he looks like a Red Ranger. Like, he does. Like, he really does look like a Red Ranger, a red metallic, you know, Ranger, like Luminos and Bushido. Like, they look like Rangers. Like, they do. They don't look like the original or traditional, like, you know, the original Gavans look, the original space sheriffs and stuff look. They don't look like them. The original space sheriffs, you know, they had like, their suits were like really robot. It was really robot. Like, you know, they had a lot of beat boops. They had a lot of beat boops all over their suit and everything. If you look at original Gavan, it's a lot of buttons and lights, you know, and it's still got that metallic, like shiny chrome looking kind of feel to it. But you can look at them and be like, oh, this isn't Sentai. Like, they're not Sentai. Their suits aren't as tight, you know. A lot of times with Sentai, you know, they're less armored, especially like in their base forms. Like, they're like less armored and stuff like that. And it's like the only time you really see them with like any type of armor or anything is if they like transform into like another form or whatever. But usually when it comes down to like Sentai suits or like Power Ranger suits, you know, they're like, it's skin tight. Like, butts is out. Like, you see curvature butts, you know. But with Sentai, but with like Rider and like Gavan right now, it's like, oh man, like there's some heavy armor here going on. Like there's some shoulder pad action going, you know. but yeah, man, this show is very, very different for me. And I'm glad I got into it. I really like the aesthetic. I like the overall like story that we're telling about this. But even with like, we're introduced to 3 universes in this show, and we see like each universe basically kind of like works differently. Different Earths work differently. Every Earth got a Gavan, you know. Like, I like that. And I'm glad we're able to like really explore these different universes, and I'm glad we don't just have one big universe with a crap ton of Gavans in it. You know, like we had a universe with just a bunch of Gavans in it, then it will feel really, really Sentai-esque. You might just have different Gavans for different divisions. Nah, man, one Gavan per universe. Let's do that. You know. But I really do feel like, this show is gonna get better and better as it goes. You know, I got my gripes. My only few gripes is I would like to see more of some side characters, which it seems like that's what they're like doing. You know, I would also like to see an episode that doesn't like involve Reiji at all. Like he could come at like the end of it. He could come at like the end or something like that. Cause so far Reiji's been in every episode. Like Reiji's been in every episode. I would like to see an episode where Bushido is handling something completely by himself on a mission by himself with no Reiji in sight, and he could just pop up at the end or something like that. Same thing with Luminos. I would like to see Kiki and Koto doing their jobs and doing Gavan stuff without Reiji, and actually beating some stuff without Reiji, because I feel like we would get more time with these characters, and seeing how they move and how they act and stuff like that without Reiji. I would like to see something. I would like to see that. I would like to see them, defeat some monsters and solve some cases and stuff without Reiji's help. And I know Reiji's like our main character. Like I feel that. Like he's basically like the main character. But at the same time, I do really feel like let's get some episodes where we're like separately building the other universes, separately having time with other characters, without Reiji. Because I feel like even when it comes down to Reiji, I feel like we should have more episodes where he doesn't go to another universe and he's solving some stuff in his universe. Like I want to see stuff like that. But other than that, that's my only gripe. But man, I done yapped for a good almost 17 minutes. But hey, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity as of right now. Like, how are you liking the show? Are you liking the show? Have you dropped it? Are you still invested? Like, do you want to see what happens next? Are you down for this show right now, since we're 9 episodes in? How are you feeling about it? Because I'm loving it. I'm still invested. I'm gonna keep watching it regardless. But yeah, other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below, and I'm gonna see you guys. Oh man, you guys let me know down in the comment section below, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As remember, as I always say, stay henshin.
Yeah, the shining golden sign.